To the Sorbonne and France 24's Catherine Norris-Trent. Catherine, as we watch the images of the Interior Minister arriving, what's the mood where you are?
Yeah, the mood is very sombre here, François, as you expect, where people are gathering now outside the Sorbonne University where this national homage is due to take place. So I've been speaking to people who've come here in the centre of Paris to watch the events. There's a big screen been placed outside the university so members of the public can watch the ceremony. People I've been speaking to, of course, clearly moved, clearly still shocked by the murder of the teacher Samuel Paty. One man I spoke to, who's a high school teacher himself, told me that he wasn't necessarily afraid, but he was worried that this kind of event could happen again, that for him it was only a question of time. Another lady in the crowd I spoke to said she feels that France is more and more divided today than she's ever really seen it before. So a very sombre, very worried atmosphere here amongst the crowd outside the Sorbonne.
Because we've seen this movie before, 5 years ago with the Charlie Hebdo killings, the Paris attacks, and this idea of how do you bring people together, and what he was doing was teaching a civics lesson on free speech.
Yeah, that's right. But there's something about this attack on a teacher who was decapitated in broad daylight, in public, outside his school or near his school, that has really shocked the French public and people here. This has really resonated with them and really called into questions all the debates that have been taking place in the last 5 or so years about freedom of speech, the right to blaspheme, the right to say things which make people uncomfortable, and what to do about Islamic terrorism. France, of course, has been hit by several deadly attacks over the years since those Charlie Hebdo attacks in 2015. But there is a real feeling in France. This is kind of a turning point moment, and you can feel this from the government as well. They've been trying to work to be seen hard, to take action, not just speak out in the days since Samuel Paty was killed, and they've been trying to crack down on Islamist groups online, closing the mosque in Pantin, north of Paris, for 6 months, and really trying to make it known ahead of elections in 2022 that they're going to try and be tough on Islamism and all violence that offends freedom of speech here in France.
And Catherine, let's not forget, Paris right now is under curfew. The ceremony to take place before 9 p.m., right?
Yeah, that's right. So it's due to start at around 7 p.m, where that's when President Emmanuel Macron will arrive. We've had other guests arriving so far, including around 100 high school pupils from the Paris region. We also understand that former French President François Hollande will be here. We've seen the former Prime Minister Manuel Valls, and members of the government, the Parliament and the Senate are also expected to attend, as well as family members of Samuel Paty, the teacher who was killed. Then there are due to be readings of various poems which have been talked about teaching and learning throughout the ages. And after that, there will be a speech from President Macron. The French national anthem will be played, and then his coffin will be carried away. In this ceremony, due to wrap up around 8:30 before the 9 p.m. curfew kicks in, François.
And we'll be crossing live to you, Catherine Norris-Trent, just before it starts at the outset of our special edition that's coming up